Hi everyone! Happy Friday! Welcome to Art Day with Mr. Paul. That's me! It is so good to see everybody. Thank you for spending some time hanging out with me today and making art. So before we get started, go grab some art supplies if you don't have them yet. Whatever you have at home will be just fine. I always say that every week, but I want to make sure that you know if it's crayons, if it's colored pencils, whatever you like, if it's just a regular old pencil and paper, go get that. Go get your favorite art supplies, and we are going to have so much fun making some art together today. All right? While you do that, I'm going to take down my sign, and then we can get started, okay? Take it down without taking down that, oh, there we go. See, I have another paper hiding there. That's what we're going to make the art on. All right, so how are you guys doing this week? It's been a crazy week. It's been a difficult week for a lot of people, but I'm so glad that we get to spend this time together. I think that art is one of the most powerful, awesome things that we can do to connect with each other. I've been thinking about you guys a lot this week, and so I wanted to do an art project today that really talks about celebrating how unique and special each one of you is. I don't know if you've heard that lately, if anybody has told you that you are unique and special, but you are. We all are. And I have a little poem that I want to read to you before we get started. I love this poem because it's about one of my favorite things, crayons. Now I've got my box of crayons right here. My crayons might look a little different than yours. These are actually called oil pastels, but they're just like crayons. And you can see my crayons are kind of messy because I use all of them. I use every single color all the time. I love these crayons. And so before we get started, I want to read you a little poem about crayons, okay? And that has to do with our project today. I've got it right up here above the camera, so if you see me looking up, that's why. All right, it's called The Crayon Box, right here. Wouldn't it be terrible, wouldn't it be sad if just one single color was the color that we had? If everything was purple or red or blue or green, if yellow, pink, or orange was all that could be seen, can you even imagine how dull the world would be if just one single color was all we got to see? I can't imagine trying to make a beautiful piece of art with just one color. I mean, you probably could, but isn't it better to use all of them? So that's what we're going to do today. I want you to get as many colors as you can, and we're going to do a special project today that is all about how unique and special every single person is. Everybody hold up your hand for a minute like you're going to give me a high five. Don't actually hit your screen, but give me a high five. Did you know that you have a fingerprint on your hand, on all your fingers, that is different from every other person's fingerprint in the whole world? That's what unique means. It means you're the only one that has something. We are all unique in a lot of different ways, but I want to do a project today about our hands. I think hands are really cool. I always like hands. I like drawing hands. I think I'm drawn to hands because I use my hands a lot to draw, to paint. So what we're going to do, get a piece of paper, okay? I've got a little bit smaller one than normal because I'm going to put a lot on here, and I didn't want to spend 5 hours working on this. I thought you might get a little bored watching. But I'd like for you to take your hand, and we're going to put it on the paper and trace all around the hand And we're going to do that a bunch of times. So it's not just going to be one hand, it's going to be a whole bunch of hands. They can overlap each other. Overlap is when one thing goes over top of or in front of something else. All right, actually I'm going to use my right hand because I'm right-handed and trace my left hand. So just pick a spot anywhere on your paper is just fine. Use a pencil, use a pen, whatever you've got. It doesn't need to be perfect, it never does. But just go ahead and start tracing that hand on your paper. Okay, go ahead and take it all the way to the edge too so you don't have any openings. There's one hand, there's a high five, bop! Okay, let's do another one, all right? I'm going to let it overlap. That's what overlap means, when you let it go right into the other part. You can draw as many hands as you want. Okay, there's two. I might even turn my paper upside down so that some of the hands are going a different direction, like this. This is going to become very abstract. Have you ever heard that word before? Do you know what abstract means? Abstract is when you have a piece of art that doesn't necessarily look like something you can recognize, but it's more about maybe the colors or the patterns or the feeling that it gives you when you look at it. That's really what abstract art is. So the next time you look at a piece of art, and if you can't tell what it is, if it doesn't look like a tree or a flower or something that you can name, then that means it's an abstract piece of art. So go ahead and trace your hand as many times as you want until you think that it starts to look interesting. Okay? I'm also going to teach you some more art words too, because I love art words. Let's talk about positive and negative space. Have you ever heard of that? Positive space is, in a picture anyway, or when you're looking at something, positive space is the thing. So if you're looking at me right now, I'm the positive space, and then the negative space is everything around me. So when you're drawing your hands, the hands are the positive space, and then the negative space is all those shapes, all those interesting shapes that you get in the areas around your hands. And you can get some really cool shapes like that. Okay? So I've got, let's see, I don't even know, 4 hands I think on there now. You can draw as many as you want. I'm going to stick with 4. I think that's a pretty good number. And what I want you guys to do, get your box of crayons or colored pencils or markers or paint, and instead of coloring these hands with like the normal color of your skin, I want you to look at each one of these shapes as its own unique shape and give it its own unique color. Okay? So let's start here. I'm just going to pick one shape and I'm going to make it pink. Pink's a good color. Okay? Like that. Now I'm going to grab a different color and do the next shape. Like that. Pretty soon, it's going to start to look almost like a patchwork quilt with lots of different colors coming together. It might even be hard to see that it's hands that we're looking at. It's going to be more like an abstract piece of art. Let's see, what color do I want to do next? I don't even know what color that is. Look, I think it's blue, but I probably used it on top of some other colors, and then it got messy. So let me just clean it off a little. There we go. All right, I'm going to do this little shape right here, blue. that's looking pretty cool, isn't it? Let's see, green. The other thing you can do if you want, in some of the shapes, if you don't want to color them in solid, make it into a pattern. Maybe in this shape right here, instead of coloring it in solid, I'm just going to draw some green stripes. I don't know why. I just feel like it. Have you guys ever heard of the expression helping hands? I love that expression. What it means is if there's somebody that's having a hard time that needs help, if they need you to do something for them to help them out, they say lend a helping hand. So that means that you're like kind of reaching out your hand to help somebody else. And if you know all of the things that make you special and unique, then you can use those things to help other people. And also, if you know and appreciate the things that make you special and unique, you can also really start to look for and appreciate all of the things that make other people special and unique too. Because just like the box of crayons, it would be really, really boring if everybody in the world was exactly the same. Don't you think? I certainly wouldn't want to live in a world with just thousands and thousands of Mr. Pauls. I would get so bored because I already know Mr. Paul. I want to meet you. I want to meet other interesting people. So that's really what this project is about today. And I want you to think about that while you're working on it. Think about what are some of the things about you, like your fingerprint. See, look at mine real close there. You can sort of see it. What are some of the things that make you special and unique? I'll think about it too. I think one of the things that makes me unique is that I like to wear crazy shirts. Have you noticed that? This is our 10th video together, by the way. Some of you are brand new. Maybe this is the first time that you've joined us. And I know some of you have been watching for all of them. So some of you that have been around for a little bit and have seen the other videos, you know I like to wear crazy shirts. That is one thing that makes me unique. It's not the only thing, but it's one thing. What's something that makes you unique? Think about that, and while you're working on your picture, see if you can find a way to incorporate that into it. Maybe I'll make one of the shapes have the same pattern that I have on this shirt right now, and that will represent that I'm unique. Now, think about some of the people in your life that you know, that you care about, your friends, your family. What are some of the things that make them special and unique and different from everybody else in the world? We are all so interesting and special and unique. And it's really cool when you can appreciate that about other people. I think so. It's kind of like all these hands represent all the different people. And when they come together, you get something brand new and even more special, even more awesome. I guess I should probably focus on coloring and not talking so much. But maybe I can talk and color at the same time. We'll see. I just like getting to see you guys and hang out with you, so I get distracted. All right. Focus, Mr. Paul. Focus. All right. This is a big shape. Gonna wear down my orange. Okay, come on. There we go. Beautiful. Sometimes when I make a painting or a drawing or any kind of piece of artwork, I like to give it a title. It's kind of like when you write a song or when you do anything creative, you can give it a title, and that kind of just makes it more official. So I'm going to title this one, Helping Hands. You can title yours whatever you want, but I'm going to call mine Helping Hands. All right, let's see here. I got to pick out a color so I can represent this shirt. That's kind of hard when you have a lot of colors on a shirt. I think I'll go with purple, and I'll just kind of make some of these shapes. We'll do it in this one here. What shape are they anyway? It's kind of like ovals that aren't all the way closed. So that's what we'll do. We'll make some little ovals. This represents a crazy Mr. Paul shirt. Mr. Paul really likes colors. He likes all of them, every single one. When I work on a painting of one of my own paintings, I put every single tube of paint that I have, a little bit of each color out on my palette, because I never know what color I'm going to want, and I usually end up using all of them. That kind of looks like that shirt, doesn't it? What do you think? What are some of the things that make you unique? Now, just because you're unique doesn't mean you don't also have things in common with other people. For example, I know that all of us are artists. That's something that we have in common, and that's cool too. But even though we're all artists, you know what? Every single artist is unique too. Every artist makes their art a little bit different than everybody else. I teach a lot of different art classes. Sometimes I'll teach a class where I set up something in the middle of the room and have everybody draw it. That's called a still life, by the way, and it's really fun to do. You should try that sometime too. Just find something interesting at your house and set it up in front of you and try to draw it. That's a still life. But the reason I'm telling you about it is that when I teach classes, sometimes I'll have 20 or 30 people in a class at the same time, and I'll set that still life up. Maybe it's a bowl of fruit, okay? And I'll put that bowl of fruit out in the middle of the room, and I'll tell everybody to draw it. And you know what? Even though everybody in the room is an artist and is really talented, they all look different. Every single drawing. Does that mean that they're not good artists? No. It just means they're unique. So you should never compare your art with other people's. You have your own unique style. Don't ever feel bad if you think somebody else has a different style than you, or if you think somebody's better than you. The only person that you're competing with is yourself. And if you tried to change to be like somebody else, then that means that we don't get to see all the cool things that are unique about you. We don't want that. That would be sad. Okay, let's see here. This crayon's about had it. I'm going to have to get some new crayons. Mr. Paul needs to go to the art store. Actually, speaking of art store, I'm really excited because next week we're going to go on a little field trip together. I don't know if I was supposed to tell you about it or not, but I'm going to tell you. I have a friend named Jermaine who owns her own art store. Art stores are pretty much the coolest place in the world, if you ask me, because you can go in and you can get any art supply you want, from paint to clay. You can get stuff, supplies to build things out of wood, just all kinds of stuff. Whatever kind of creative idea you have, you can find a supply there to use. So next week, next Friday, when we have our next Art with Mr. Paul Day, I'm going to go to Jermaine's art store. It's here in Monterey. It's called Imagine Art Supplies. Here in Pacific Grove, actually, is where it's located. And we're going to film next week's episode there. So you get to meet my friend Jermaine and see her amazing artwork. She's going to share it with you. And she's going to show us some of the different art supplies that she has in her store and how to use them. Won't that be cool? I'm so excited to get to take you guys to the art store with me, which is my favorite place on earth. I would rather go to the art store than just about anywhere else. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun. And Jermaine is a very, very talented artist, so I can't wait for you to get to see her work too. It's going to be a blast. So don't miss that next Friday. Same time, same place. All right. Somehow that crayon had a little green on it. You see that green smudge? But I don't believe in mistakes. I'm just going to make that into polka dots. I think this hand just wanted to be polka dotted. What do you think? Oh yes, I like that better already. Sounds like a woodpecker hum. Right? Somebody hammering something. My neighbors are probably thinking, what is Mr. Paul doing in there? Since I've got the green, might as well use it somewhere else. Okay, now don't just focus on the positive spaces. Also color in the negative spaces too, and that is when it's really going to start looking cool. Let's start up here. I'm going to use this bright red. Ooh, I like that. That's looking awesome, isn't it? How's yours coming along? I wish I could see it right now. I get so impatient. I want to see everybody's artwork because it's so exciting. But I know you guys have to work and finish it first, so that's okay. But when you do finish it, if you're allowed to, be sure to share it with us on social media or someplace so that we can see your awesome artwork. We love to see it. Okay. What next? Whoa, this crayon has like a bunch of colors on it. I kind of like that. Sometimes if you mix colors, like if you put a crayon, if you rub a crayon on top of a color that's already there, then you start to get like several colors together at once. And that can look cool too. I'm going to leave that. I think that looks neat. Here's a nice dark color. Let's use that right down here. You don't just want to use all light or all dark. You want to use a little bit of everything, and that's going to make your picture really look cool. It's kind of like with people. You don't just want all of one kind of person. You want all kinds of different people, and that's when it really is the best. That's when you can learn a lot from other people who are different from you, and that's when I think you have the most fun. That's an awesome color, huh? I love that. I kind of want to make this whole picture, have it printed on a shirt so I can wear it. That would be pretty awesome. All right, what's next? Let's use black over here. Ooh, that's cool. That gives it a little bit of drama, which I love. Do you guys have a favorite color? People ask me that all the time. And say, Mr. Paul, what is your favorite color? And you know what? I can't pick. I really can't. I like all of the colors so much I could not pick a favorite one. Okay. What haven't I used yet? Oh, here's like a burgundy. That's a good color. If you guys use all the colors and you still have spaces left, try combining some. Color it one color and then go right back in there and color it another color right on top of that. Oops. I forgot to finish this one. That shape goes all the way up here. I think you distracted me again. I'm going to blame you guys. I know you're out there. I see your artwork each week, and I love that. It makes me really happy to know there are so many awesome creative people out there, and that we all get to spend time hanging out and making art together. There is nothing cooler than that, in my opinion. Okay, now I have to really study it. Did I get all the shapes? No, I missed some, didn't I? Okay, that's all right. Keep working. I'm looking for colors here. Let's see. Oh, I haven't used gray yet. Oh, that's not gray. Mr. Paul, what are you doing? It's green, like a light green. That's the thing, too. You can have different shades of the same color. So I've got green right there, but that's green, too. Two different greens. That works. This is gray, I think. Let's see. Yes, that looks good. All right. What's next? Maybe this color. Okay. It's getting serious. Now you know when I'm quiet that I'm concentrating, because I'm never quiet. Okay, oh, here's kind of a nice reddish purple. Okay. Here's a nice dark blue. I'm going to have to get some more oil pastels when I go to the art store next week with Jermaine. Gonna run out. Okay. What else? Let's see here. Doesn't that look cool? Have you guys ever seen stained glass windows? That's also kind of what this looks like too, where there's different pieces of colored glass, and then they're separated with kind of like a dark line. Oh, we're getting close, getting close. Just a few small shapes left. I'm grabbing a different color for each one. If you don't have enough colors, like I said, just combine them. Color one color. In fact, I'll do that here. I'm going to put yellow first, and then I'm going to go on top of it with blue. And look at that, it turned into a real interesting green color. See, this is a really good chance to experiment and see what happens with mixing different colors, because there's no bad color. Every color that you make could be really cool. I almost slipped and colored two shapes the same color. Oops. Can't do that. Did you guys count how many shapes you had? I didn't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I lost count. When I'm all finished, though, maybe I will try to count them. That could be fun, just to see how many different shapes you got. Because there's some that are really small, and there's some that are huge, but they're all shapes. They're all important in this picture, even the teeny tiny ones. Almost done. I don't want to stop. Next I'll have to try one with tracing my feet. Okay, 2 more shapes to go. That one, can you spot which one I missed? Keep looking. You're probably busy working on your own. That's okay too. The one I missed is right there. Okay, now let me study it. Make sure I got everything. I think I did. How's yours coming along? You don't have to be done just because I am. Take your time. Have fun with it. You guys can color all day if you want to. But remember, when you do finish, there's one last step before a masterpiece is really finished. You have to sign it. So I'm going to sign my name right here at the bottom. Mr. Paul. There it is. Helping hands. I can't wait to see your helping hands. I hope that you guys had so much fun with Art Day today. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for being creative. And thank you for being you, your own unique, awesome self. And I hope that you get to take some time this week to think about all the things that make you special and unique. And also think about the things that make the people in your life special and unique too. Think about all of that when you make your artwork. And then whenever you look at it, you're going to think about that. It'll remind you of all of those things. That's the power of art. And that is pretty awesome. So you guys take care. Have a great week. And I'll see you next Friday, okay? Bye-bye, everybody. I'm going to wave my helping hand at you. Bye-bye.